And I am so excited to have these guys back in the hot seat. It's Ivy Tech. You know them. You love them. They're right here in this community. Welcome.
Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here.
Steve, tell the people a little bit about yourself and what you do out at Ivy Tech.
Well, I am the interim director of admissions. I've been at Ivy Tech for almost 2 years now. Prior to that, I taught high school at Westfield High School for 5 years.
Nice.
So yeah, it's been a great transition. It's really neat because I get the best of both worlds working at Ivy Tech. I get to work with the students still. I teach a couple classes adjunct, but I'm also doing the administrative thing too. So
nice.
It's a really neat opportunity for me.
So welcome to Kokomo, kind of.
Well, thank you. Yep, born and raised here, so it's nice to come back.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So what is the process like to actually get started?
Well, the process is actually relatively easy. The students have to do an application, which the application is free.
Okay.
The great thing about the application is that it doesn't bind you to coming to Ivy Tech.
Okay.
It's just a step in the process. The application is actually good for 2 years. So once
wow.
you do it, if you decide that maybe the semester you intended to come, you weren't quite ready just yet, you can always come back. And as long as the information hasn't changed, your application's good. We do require all students to go through mandatory new student orientation.
Okay.
And you can do that one of two ways, either face-to-face, which is really nice because when we do that, we get the students logged on to Campus Connect, which is our portal for registering for classes and checking financial aid.
And that way, if they've got questions too, it's right there. They can ask and kind of be guided in the right direction.
Exactly. And we go over more specific information that's specific to our region, our campus, and Kokomo in general. The online orientation is convenient because you can do it anytime. You can log in at 3 p.m. or 3 a.m. It's a half-hour long, and once you've done that, you're kind of on your way.
Okay.
After you've done the orientation, there is an AccuPlacer, which is our placement assessment. We tried to call it a test because it's not pass or fail. It just lets us know what you're ready for. And I always give the example, I'm horrible in math. I still count on my fingers, embarrassingly enough. And so for me to walk into a college algebra class, I would not do very well. And so I might need a college prep remediation class, and that's what we offer. We don't want our students to get into a class that they're in over their head with. That's the worst feeling in the world, and we don't want our students to
feel
fail.
like they're drowning.
Exactly.
Okay.
And so you can take the AccuPlacer. There's also some ways that you can be waived from that if you have prior college experience, if you have a degree, if you've taken the SATs, PSATs, or ACTs. There are some ways you can be waived from that. Once you've done that, you have to meet with a new student advisor, an academic advisor. I really like the process because they sit down with you for an hour and they work with you to see if there's any scheduling conflicts. They want to know if you're in the right program. They really do care about the students and everything, and so it's neat because they get that attachment.
Sure.
And once they've gone through the advising session and everything, then that's pretty much it. I mean, it's a very simple process. We try to make it as easy as possible for our students because we don't want to have any obstacles or barriers, and then, of course, they're registered for classes.
But you say it's a simple process, but there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes because they want to make sure that you are headed in that right direction, that you are prepared, that you have the tools that you need to make sure you succeed, basically.
Definitely. And one of the classes you have to take is a freshman seminar class. It's an IVY course. I really like it because it's specific to introducing Ivy Tech to the student, showing them how to do the virtual library, showing them, if they get backed into a corner, who they can go and speak with. Again, trying to ensure that success. That's one of the biggest things, is trying to retain our students and make sure they're successful, not just at the collegiate level, but also in life in general.
And when should they, or how should they apply? Is there a set time, or?
There isn't necessarily a deadline for application, but we want to encourage students to apply as early as possible. For example, February 15th, we actually begin to schedule for summer classes.
Okay.
The earlier you get in, the more convenient that it is for your schedule. You can actually plan around the conflicts you may have. If you wait to the last minute, you're kind of stuck with those last classes, the 8 a.m. math classes you may not want to get into, or the 8 a.m. writing classes, or the 8 a.m. speech classes. It just kind of depends. And then March 15th, we begin scheduling for the fall as well. So the sooner the students get in there and they get the application done, they get the orientation done, the sooner we can get them advised and on their way.
Now, what type of degrees do you guys actually offer?
The great thing about the community college is that we offer just a variety of different types of degrees. We offer certifications, which are 4 to 5 classes. A good example would be like C++ certification for computers. So if you just want to get a quick certification, you can do that, move on.
And that's important too. I want to pause right there really quick because a lot of people look for those certifications, especially when it comes to a technical skill, correct?
Definitely. And there's actually kind of a movement out there right now that says, there's more value in certifications than even some of those degrees that are out there. You can get a welding certification and make a lot of money doing that.
Absolutely.
And do some of those classes and get a journeyman's card and make $20, $30 an hour. And so there's a lot of value in those certifications. You're right.
And that's kind of a left turn because I know that's not the topic we were on, but sometimes that is very, very important. And those certifications that you guys offer actually will get you out there quicker, faster, and get those high-paying jobs.
Exactly, and it's something to celebrate. I know a lot of times people celebrate, they focus on the bachelor degree. They talk about Indiana has 20% of the people here have a bachelor's degree or higher, but certifications are just as valuable and just as important, and we offer a variety of those. We also offer the one-year degrees or the technical certificates, which is about 30 credit hours. Again, it's kind of a neat stepping stone if students want to go out and do those vocational programs, those skilled trade programs. They can do that. And the nice thing is you can always come back and it actually ties right into the associate degree. Sure. The associate degree I really like because we offer a couple different types. The Associate of Science, the Associate of General Studies and Arts, those are typically used to transfer to four-year institutions. So if you want to use Ivy Tech or the community college as a stepping stone, you can come in, do 2 years with us, then transfer in as a junior to a four-year institution. Now the Associate of Applied Science is a little bit different. I like this because that's geared more toward like the automotive, the welding, those types of classes, the HVAC. There's more program-specific classes in there. So as auto mechanic, you probably don't need as much philosophy or psychology and things like that.
Sometimes you do, probably.
Sometimes, depending on the client you're working with, you never know. But the nice thing is you have more of those hands-on classes so that you can sell your skills to the employers and say, look, I know brakes because I got an A in that class, or I know suspension or electrical components because I got an A in that class. So that's the idea, is you actually get those hands-on classes that are program-specific that will translate much better into the real life.
And before we go to a quick break, I want to ask, what do you do or what do you help with students who possibly aren't ready for that four-year degree? I know you touched on it a little bit, but sometimes you're just not ready.
Right. We have a lot of students who emotionally just aren't ready to go off to a four-year college. And the beautiful thing about the community college is, we are a quality, affordable education. We're the most affordable college in the state. They advertise that you can get a two-year degree for about $6,600 through Ivy Tech. So those students who aren't quite ready just yet, they can test the waters with Ivy Tech. And again, they're not spending so much money or going so far into debt. I mean, I think the average in Indiana is $24,000 in student loan debt. I would love to have $24,000 in student loan debt, but it gets expensive after a while.
Absolutely,
especially those four-year colleges. I kind of laugh because when I went to Ball State, my first year it was $8,000, and that was all inclusive, and that wouldn't even get you room and board today. And it's gone up quite a bit. So those students who cognitively, emotionally aren't ready just yet, community college is a really good way to test the waters and just see if college is right for you.
And you're saying community college, but it really, really is so much more than that. And,
you're right.
And it's amazing the things that go on. We're going to take a quick break. I've got a lot more questions. We'll be right back. We are back, and we are discussing how you can be a part of the phenomenon that is going on at Ivy Tech right now.
That's right.
What are you going to? How do you help those students who actually are going to that four-year college right now, and how does Ivy Tech help them?
There are a couple opportunities you can do. One, we offer guest student process, which is basically if you're going to a four-year college and you come back to Kokomo for the summer, you could take a couple classes with us. Again, very quality education, very affordable, and they will transfer. I always give the example that, as I mentioned before, I went to Ball State, and between my freshman and sophomore year, I took a communications class through Ivy Tech. I didn't want to do it in a lecture hall of 300 people. I wasn't comfortable with that. And so Ivy Tech always brags about the small class sizes, 1 to 17 student to teacher ratio. And so I did speech in front of 13 people. It was a seamless transition to Ball State. I got my credit and moved on. It was a great opportunity. I had a great instructor, and good memories were made from that. So.
And what about those students who are actually denied the four-year?
And that happens. It could be because of academics. It could be because they applied late. We have two amazing programs. We have a great relationship with both Ball State and IU Kokomo. IU Kokomo has what's called a LINK program, where if a student has been denied admission, they're actually referred to the community college. They come through us and they take 15 general education classes. Once they've completed those and gotten a C or higher, they're automatically admitted to the next semester at IUK without any questions asked. So it's a great opportunity. They won't be behind with their students, still again getting that quality education that Ivy Tech offers. Ball State's program is very similar. It's called the Ball State Connect program. If a student has been denied admission at Ball State, they can take 24 credit hours with us, general education classes, almost a full year. And again, they're also admitted right away to Ball State.
And you kind of touched on something I want to mention. It's not in my questions, but I want to throw it in there. You partner with IUK a lot. Now, it seems like you would have this rivalry, but it's really not the case, is it?
Not at all. No, we have a great relationship with IUK. In fact, I've worked with Angie Siders quite a bit, who is their new director of admissions as well. And she's been very welcoming, and we give lists back and forth of students to try to help them out. And the idea is we want to bring all educational attainment up. And so it's a partnership. It's not a competition at all.
Right, because you guys offer some things that they can't and vice versa, but it is that partnership. And I really want people to understand that you guys work hand in hand together every single day.
Yeah, and we're very fortunate in Howard County. We have Ivy Tech, we have IU Kokomo, and we have Indiana Wesleyan. And again, all three of those we have great partnerships with, and they're fun to work with. There's no competition. Right. It's just a wonderful opportunity for everybody here in the county.
Because the bottom line genuinely is, and this is what you see when you walk through those doors, it is about you. It is that program designed for you to succeed.
Yep.
Because everyone wins, the community included, when you succeed.
Right. There's the old John Kennedy analogy that a rising tide lifts all ships. And that's kind of what we're trying to do in Howard County is we're trying to improve the educational attainment, whether it's a skilled trade, whether it's a bachelor's degree or an associate degree. We're just trying to make everybody better.
And lastly, we're going to change gears. The automotive open houses last week.
Yes.
They were a huge success.
It was absolutely awesome.
And for those people who weren't there, tell them a little bit about it.
Well, we had amazing community buy-in, both by business leaders and by parents and by potential students. It was so neat to see that. I believe that Ivy Tech has spent about $300,000 in this new automotive lab. It's state-of-the-art. It's absolutely amazing. I have no car gene at all. I can barely put gas in my car, but to go through and look at that, you're just completely in awe. The difference between the traditional track and the Institute, it's kind of neat. The traditional track is obviously you're doing semesters, fall semester, spring semester, so many credit hours each time, whatever you're comfortable with. The Automotive Institute, I love the idea because if you start on this date, you're guaranteed 40 weeks later to finish at this date. As long as you pass your certifications through Snap-on, as long as you're passing your classes. I like that idea. That really gets students associated with a class. You know, you're the class of 2013, you're the class of 2014. It gives them that association.
And it makes you feel good. I mean, let's be honest.
It does. And one of the other things I love about this, all the work is basically inclusive Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. So there's very little work that goes outside because it's all modules, it's all labs, it's all computerized, it's all hands-on. So for those people that do better with the hands-on environment, the automotive lab the Institute is an amazing thing for those students. The other great thing is that you know, you get all the certifications through Snap-on. Once you complete those, they prepare you for your certification once you're done. It's just a really neat opportunity for those students that wanted to go for that program. The last thing I'll mention on that is, you know, there are some components in there like speech and writing, but it's not the typical speech where you get in front of people and you're giving a persuasive or informative speech of something you don't want to talk about. It's more geared toward the automotive world. So the communications is talking with customers and clients and vendors like we talked about.
Which is truly important, and that's a skill that people really do need.
Exactly.
If your car's broken, you need somebody to explain it to you in words that you can understand.
Right, especially me.
I was going to throw you under the bus.
Especially me, yeah.
Especially for people who don't understand.
Yeah, this
that would be me included.
Yeah, yeah. This rotating thing's making a clingy noise. Doesn't seem to translate very well to technicians. So if they can understand what I'm saying and vice versa, then it makes a world of difference.
Absolutely. And if they want to get started, how do they get in contact? What do they need to do? What website, phone number? Let us know.
Well, if they want to get started either through the Automotive Institute or just to Ivy Tech in general, they can go to ivytech.edu. They can also call us at 765-459-0561, extension 239. You'll get Shirley Lawson, who's an amazing representative of our admissions team. She's a hardworking person, so she'll make sure that everyone gets through the process. And then from there, we can just kind of walk them through wherever they want to go.
And the nice thing is, you're going to see your neighbors. You're going to see those people that are out eating with you, going to the grocery store, the soccer moms, everybody. It's right here at Ivy Tech. We've got more coming up from Ivy Tech right after this.